Are we on?
Hello, welcome. Making sure my mic was working. So welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we got some changes up on the set today.
Yeah, we have new lights.
We do have new lights.
Yeah.
So if we go...
So I don't know that they're working, but I don't know that they're how we're going to leave them for sure. We'll have to wait and see, but I feel like they're kind of like in my face a little bit, but also behind me it's a little shadow.
Real talk here. Remember how you always had a shadow on your shirt? Look at mine.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so there is a little bit of one right now on me too. It's here. I have a black shirt on today, but we're always dealing with shadows on set. So our goal was to rearrange our lighting and try to get rid of some of the shadows and make us look a little bit more like ABC, NBC. They don't struggle with shadows. So come on, we need to fix it. So we've been working on it, and Wabash has been doing a great job trying to make it so we have less shadows.
I didn't even till just now, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I got another shadow here. I got shadows everywhere.
Yeah, they're a little bit all over the place. But anyway, what have you been up to?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. The all-ladies class reunion's coming up. So I've been
You should give a shout out in case there's someone out there that doesn't know about it.
Well, yeah, it's the all-ladies class reunion. We started doing this about 6 years ago, doing it every 2 years. A lot of classes, I love class reunions, but a lot of classes just don't get together for the reunions. And I think it was Paula Cooper and Mark Stanley had this great idea to do an all-80s. Yeah. And I believe it was right in 2020. Yeah, because that would have been the first one. Yeah, kind of right in that area. So it wasn't bad. Then we did it 2 years later. And now we're doing it again this year. I don't think we have a ginormous crowd coming, so we might start doing the all-80s maybe every 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And do that. But we are doing it at Nostalgia Theater this year, which I'm excited about that.
Fun.
Yeah, so we're been working hard on the theater. The balcony's completely open. It looks so good. You're going to have to come up there and see that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I almost took a picture, but, those stairs are... I didn't want to go up the stairs again. One thing about the theater, it's... when you're walking around that all concrete floor, you feel it 7 or 8 hours later. So I was like,
it's hard on my legs for sure if I'm there for a very long event.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. We're going to keep it pretty simple. We're doing a barbecue, baked beans, mac and cheese. Me and a friend are, we got the barbecue already made from somewhere. Angela Martin's getting that. And we're just going to have a good time. Band, just above Epic, Beth Camp. Camp's her maiden name. I always call everybody when I'm talking about reunions because when I say Angela Martin, I mean Angela Owens, but she's been a Martin for years. So, but so Beth was decided to put a band together because you can't get bands anymore. So the band was made up of Tim Locum on the drums, Rob Stokey on the guitar, Steve Gregert on bass. I am on lead vocals, and then my friend Susan Maddox Hagen and Beth Camp or my backup vocalists. We're called Just Above Epic. That is a Tim Locum, Rob Stokey thing. And it was interesting because we just shot out all this music the first time we did this, and literally the first time we ever played together was we got together. This was when it was done at the venue, the very first one. We set up at the venue, practiced Saturday morning, went through every song one time and hit it that night. And I might say, pretty darn good. Where we just all practice on our own, and then we come together and just... I think Rob Stokey's in town right now, so I imagine he'll probably set his stuff up. But so exciting things going on at the theater. The theater's... Yes. I'm excited about the theater. It's starting to look good. We're actually going to... And now that the balcony's open, we're going to put a new sound system in, so that's going to help with because we have 2 wedding receptions scheduled, and that place when it's decorated is spectacular.
It's a beautiful building.
It is a beautiful building, and so we're looking for just ordered all the fabric for the ceiling. We're still on that. We're still on that. New roof, but that's not happening. We can't get a grant to save our souls. We just keep getting little grants like the Walmart grant and that type of thing. But we can camouflage the best we can. So we can't afford a ceiling, so we're just going to drape black fabric. It'll look beautiful, and the walls are draped, and it looks amazing in there. That balcony, I can't wait till you see those wine-colored love seats in front of that yellow wall.
Yeah, it's fancy up there, folks.
Did I tell you? Oh, and Jim hung the doors.
Yes, the original theater doors into the main theater section are hanging.
He hung those, and we need the big. I did order off of Amazon the big brass because we could only find one brass handle, the original handles. But I got two new, brass handles.
Well,
so
good.
yeah, it'll be.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. The theater, and we just keep trucking along, and the more we just keep going, and we utilize the building the best we can, and give back to the community as much as we can.
That's right.
A nice, affordable place for people to go.
Right.
Everything,
affordable place. They
everything
rent it out for a baby shower, bridal shower, reunion,
weddings.
Wedding.
Yeah, we have tables,
anything.
we have chairs, we have a stage. It's
birthday parties, graduation parties. There's already been a lot of people that have used the building.
There have been a lot of people that have used the building, and it, like I said, it's one thing affordable. Not everybody can afford a $10,000 reception, so it's one of those things that's like people, somewhere they can go and they have a beautiful place. And one other thing, we don't do a lot of extra. A lot of times when you go to other venues, it's like if you want the lights on, you have to pay for it. If you want the sound system, you have to pay for it. Ours is all inclusive. We just have one flat. And the other beautiful thing I think that we decided to do was when you rent out the theater for like a wedding or whatever, you get the building Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for cleanup, so you don't have to kill yourself Saturday night after you're already exhausted.
Exactly.
And it's one flat price of $2,500, and you get the sound, the lights, the chairs, the tables, that type of thing. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, I'm excited about the new sound system coming in.
Yeah, me too.
It'll help
I
with
didn't
that
think
buzzing.
our sound system was bad, but occasionally it made a weird buzzing noise.
Well, that sound system that we use is mine. That whenever I used to travel and sing, that's just mine and Jim's.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sound system we've been using is whenever we had a band called the Coconuts, and it was a Christian band. And that's the sound system. So that board's getting old, so it's going to be a lot nicer.
Okay.
Just think about the karaoke's we can whip out of there now.
Oh, yeah. That's. I love to watch karaoke. I don't participate
you
in karaoke.
You need to start participating. No.
I do my own karaoke in the car.
She's the people we like to have come to karaoke.
So they can laugh at me.
That's right. So what's going on today? Getting ready to start school.
Yes, we're a few weeks away from school. I'm not allowed to talk about it at home.
Nobody wants mourning.
Yes. So we can't mention school. It's called the S word. No one's allowed to say it. What else has been going on? I don't know. My kids have been running hard all summer at going here and going there. And Carissa just got back from a week-long mission trip in Indianapolis.
Ooh, how'd that go?
Good. She loved it.
Did she love it?
Yeah. They served a lot of people in downtown Indy. And yeah, she had a good time.
Is there a homeless population?
I think there is a homeless population, but I think they were mainly working for churches and getting a lot of like maintenance jobs done.
Okay.
So she did a lot of painting, scraping. She was on scaffolding, staining. I don't know.
Oh my.
Yeah.
She was working.
She was working hard.
Ugh.
Yeah, but she liked it. So
did she? Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So they're not even excited. I remember being excited about going back and doing school clothes shopping. I love that. Of course, things are different today. If kids need something, you can go right out and get it. I mean, that's how it was even with my boys. If they needed new clothes, we just went and got them. But when I was younger, you got clothes at the beginning of the school year. You got nothing again till maybe Christmas. And then maybe on your birthday, and that was it. People didn't buy clothes like they do.
Right, and now everything's online.
Now everything's you just buy and order.
Like, Silas, to start school, he really only needs a few pairs of shorts. I ordered them yesterday online, and I don't want to buy him pants or long sleeves yet because he's growing like a weed. So I'm going to wait till it gets a little colder before I buy anything. School
clothes shopping was an all-day thing. We would go to Kmart over at St. Clair. St. Clair was not like what it is back when we would go. I even remember like you take old Route 50 all the way to get into St. Clair, that new, that's been there for 100 years. So we would travel all the way to St. Clair, me and my mom and Buffy. You've heard me talk about my cousin Buffy and my Aunt Barb. And we would travel to Kmart, and Kmart was the greatest place. You'd literally spend the entire day at Kmart because Kmart had a cafeteria.
Yes, I remember Kmart having the cafeteria.
Cafeteria was amazing, and it had the best chocolate pudding.
Oh, really?
I'm a chocolate pudding connoisseur.
I kind of remember this chocolate pudding.
And it was in that cute little plastic votive cup, or, very decorative cup, and it had a little dollop of whipped cream
right on top. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a total chocolate.
I like chocolate pudding too.
Connoisseur. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. But yeah, so I enjoyed back to school clothes shopping. It was awesome.
I always enjoyed it too.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I said, everything changes, and now
Yep.
everything. I don't want everything to go so online though that you never can do any shopping.
Well, right. That's why it makes me
That
sad
makes me nervous.
to see like all the malls that are closing.
Ah.
Like malls aren't a thing like they were when I was young. Like now people go to all the surrounding box stores, like TJ Maxx or Ross or whatever's kind of on the fringe of the mall. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't go into the mall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the mall was the best. Like I love the mall.
Yeah. I like the mall except for your Christmas shopping. I love the mall more if they had shopping carts.
Oh.
But when I go shopping, I'm in it to win it. I'm going to spend a fortune.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out with $1,000.
Well, I always park close to a door so I could run
Famous
in
Bar.
there.
I always stopped right there at Famous Bar. I knew exactly. I get the same spot, and I went in the same door at Famous Bar.
That's how I was at the mall at Fairview. I would park by Sears, and there was a row that was like right up next to the building. You didn't have to walk across a lane of traffic. It was like, and for whatever reason, I guess because it was kind of backed by like automotive, not really automotive, but like lawnmowers and stuff, people wouldn't park there. So those spots were always open.
And walked right in the door.
And it was like 6 feet from the door. I'm like, why does no one else park here? I don't know. It wasn't reserved, but anyway.
Hey.
That's where I parked.
Yeah, I just parked right in because Famous Bar was like, and I always thought I loved Famous Bar. I like Macy's too, but I was a big Famous Bar girl.
I loved Famous Bar
and
too.
So I would like go there and look, and then get my eye on whatever I wanted, and hit everything, and then not buy anything. Go to the very end, and then buy on the way back. I had a total system.
Yeah, there's a system. When you're a good shopper, you have a system.
All right.
All right. What ad do you have?
Well, I picked this Good Housekeeping magazine from 1991, and I thought this was just a cute little ad.
Okay.
It says, surprise, a cup of yogurt has more potassium than a banana.
What?
This is just, it's just a dairy foods ad, not a specific yogurt ad, just a dairy foods ad. It says 1 8-ounce cup of non-fat yogurt has more potassium than a banana, along with half your daily calcium requirement and many other essential nutrients. So drink your milk, have some yogurt, enjoy the natural goodness of dairy foods for life. Dairy foods, good for life. America's dairy farmers. So this is not a specific ad. I mean, it's not just one brand ad. But yeah, I didn't know. I wonder if that's still true today.
I don't know.
I like bananas. I've been on that. You introduced me to that one yogurt. I love that. Or it's not. They don't call that yogurt. They call it what
it's
they call
Greek yogurt.
Oh, like the ratio thing. It doesn't say Greek yogurt on it. It says dairy snack. It doesn't say yogurt on it anywhere. Did you notice that?
No, I thought it said Greek yogurt on it.
It does not. That ratio stuff. No, it says dairy snack. It does not call itself a Greek yogurt.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Jim and I was going, he's like, that's not yogurt. I said, yeah, it is. It's just some sort of Greek yogurt. So I looked all over that thing, and literally on the bottom it says dairy snack.
Huh.
And the strawberry is good. Have you tried the strawberry?
No.
I've had the vanilla, the coconut, and I bought the strawberry.
So we talked about this on a past show, but it's called Ratio Keto Style.
It's black. You can find it.
Yogurt. It's at Walmart, and it's delicious. It tastes like ice cream.
It's got a little bit of a
little bit of a yogurt taste.
It's a little bit of yogurt.
It is the closest thing to ice cream that you can find that's not ice cream.
Yeah.
That's not full of sugar.
That's not full of sugar. It is good. It is good. And like I said, I did the coconut, and then I'm a crunchy girl, so I just got some little granola things, and sometimes I'll throw granola in there. But I've been having trouble with leg cramps, but I've been eating that yogurt because it's that dairy snack.
The dairy snack.
Yeah, I've been eating it at night before I go to bed, and it really, I don't know if so no heartburn, and my leg cramps aren't like what they used to be at all. So maybe there is something to all that stuff. Maybe there's something in there.
We're learning. We
are learning, but we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the Garden of the Gods. We're going to talk about Southern Illinois today.
Garden of the Gods and Cave and Rock.
Cave and Rock.
Mine's on Cave and Rock.
Yeah. Well, I've got Garden of the Gods, but Cave and Rock's my favorite place.
Yep.
I just took Sense and Pit. Well, we'll just dive into it when we get back, and I'll tell you how confused I was the entire time I was looking stuff up for this.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we're going to take a commercial break.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Here we go, Beth. We're back.
Oh, we're back. I'm still looking stuff up. That commercial went by fast. So anyway, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So today we're talking about some things in Southern Illinois. So
right.
We're talking about Cave and Rock and Garden of the Gods and some of the really cool things that are in Southern Illinois that a lot of people that maybe haven't traveled down there don't even know exist, because when people think about Illinois, they think of
Chicago. Yeah.
So if you're watching this online and you're not from this area, let me just tell you.
We're going to show you how beautiful Southern Illinois is. Southern Illinois is beautiful.
We're not Chicago.
So I was doing that. So you do Garden of the Gods, Illinois, and of course it would you'd say a little bit about the Garden of Gods, and it would be like the Garden of Gods in Colorado.
Yes, because there are Garden of the Gods in Colorado.
There are Garden of the Gods everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, but I did dive into, because it's like, if you think about Illinois is mostly flat, but something happens once you get down to that, in Southern Illinois, once you get past Marion, and it's almost like a baby Grand Canyon. But you know what I mean? It's just impressive how all that stuff.
Well, really, yeah. And if you don't think about state lines and you don't think about any of that where the states are, and you just think about the mountains, it's really not that far from southern Missouri. So it's really not that far from the Ozarks. So it's just kind of a continuation, I think, of the Ozarks is the outlying area. Yeah,
it's basically the Shawnee National Forest is 280,000 acres, and it sits between, that's like my husband does that river to river run every year. So it literally sits between the Mississippi River and the Ohio River, that part of Illinois does. So it's I can't remember, I'll find it in my many crazy notes. But what I loved about it, it's like the Garden of, I'm just going to talk about the Garden of Gods and we'll jump into Cave and Rock, because I love Cave and Rock. The Garden of the Gods is the most photographed area in the state of Illinois.
I believe it.
It's called the Ground Jewel of Illinois. It's in the Shawnee National Forest, and the actual town that it's located in is Harrod, Illinois. So it's like once you really start getting down to Harrisburg, wouldn't you think?
Harrisburg is the gateway to the Shawnee National Forest. So all of this is located within the Shawnee National Forest. I grew up down there. I grew up in Harrisburg, so it was nothing to be at the Garden of the Gods
all the time.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It didn't feel like, some people look at it like a destination. To us, it was just part of home.
It was, yeah.
But, Harrod is a tiny little town similar to, like, Horde.
Right.
In Clay County.
So what I did find is so I had two different explanations of this when I was going through this. So I found... they both kind of make sense, and I think they kind of go together. It's like they say that it's 320 million years old. Now, when anybody mentions something hundreds of millions of years old, it drives Jim Early Wine crazy, because he says that's not true. But that's just my found. And I was like, okay, so what's the cause of all of this?
I know.
You do? Explain it to me, because I got two different sources. What is it?
It's the Great Flood.
That's it.
So there's actually a week at Wheel-Built Camp.
The Great Flood.
It's called Genesis Week.
So it has nothing to do with the Ice Age.
It depends on your beliefs, but I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Because there is a week. You can go down there and study. It's a great place to study creation, because there's a guy. I think his name is Matt Miles. He's from the Creation. What's it called? university or something. I don't know. But anyway, he comes to Oil Belt Camp for Genesis Week, and they take a day trip to Garden of the Gods, which my kids have been on, my girls. And then they go through and they show you the rocks and they show you the fossils and they prove how it was during the flood.
Really? That's because that's what it was like. What I read was a giant uplift occurred. The sea filled with sand and mud, fractured the areas. The bedrock was exposed. The elements in time. The rocks were. Like I said, it's just all about like this great.
I didn't know we were going to get into this part today, or I would have had my notes ready on that.
That's okay.
Because
you sound like you already know.
Well, I know, but I don't feel like I'm explaining it well. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could say an exact example of this is why they proved it wasn't this and it was this, because they have. But
yeah, because it's like a giant uplift occurred, the sea filled with sand and mud, fractured the areas of bedrock, exposing the elements. So it's almost like it was, the way I see it, it was almost like just, all covered up. And then when the Great Flood happened, when it all washed away, it exposed this beautiful part of southern Illinois. That's how I understand it.
Okay.
And then it exposed all the canyons and the bluffs and stuff, because it's very impressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to show one of the pictures. I've got pictures of Shawnee, so let's just show some of these pictures. Look at that.
Yep, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, yeah, and they say that, of course, it's the Shawnee, the whole area is the Shawnee National Forest because of the Indian tribe. But the Indians also thought that the immense sandstone formations were considered sacred ground.
I feel it's kind of sacred when you're walking around.
It is impressive whenever you're down there. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. What other ones you got?
Let's see what other pictures are.
Oh, okay, so this is Camel Rock, which isn't showing up very good, but the front of that is on the left side of your screen is a camel head.
That's kind of neat.
So we actually have a picture. I didn't realize we were getting into this, or I would have brought my picture of Camel Rock, where I have not Silas, he's not there. I have Jason and Malia sitting on a ledge looking out over to Camel Rock, and Malia's pointing like this, and she's like maybe 1 or 2. And then we went back every year and recreated it.
Oh, that's fun.
And you can't see their faces. It's just the back of them. And Malia's always pointing. And so then you can see, like, through the years, like, Malia gets bigger. Jason looks exactly the same.
Well, yeah.
And then you see, now there's a baby girl, and then she starts getting bigger, and then there's a baby boy, and then so it's really cool, like, progression of our family through the years at that spot.
We've gone down before several times, and then we took a family trip. Jim's mom and dad, brother, sister, all the grandkids, and it was terrifying because some people are. Please tell me you're not one of those mothers that's like, just a little bit farther. I can't get the. How many people have fallen off those?
Oh my gosh!
And I mean, we were
insane.
My boys were out there, and I was like, just stop, don't go to
Yeah.
And Granny earlier was like, oh, I can't. I'm like, don't move. I was a nervous wreck when I wasn't so much nervous with Mac down there, but Connor, everybody knows, was a little moron.
He was a little wild man. Well, I feel it.
I mean,
it makes me nervous as a mother too, but like I can remember as a kid going out onto the ledges, but just being a safe distance. And that's what I allowed my kids to do. I've never had a kid that was a runner. I've never had a kid that was like just, out of control, running away from me, that I felt like I needed a leash for. My kids were all really good listeners for the most part when you're in a situation like that. And so I wasn't too crazy nervous, but watching other people's kids out there, I mean, okay, so just from living down there, I will tell you that there is a rescue service, and there's people that die.
There is?
Yeah. There's people that die down there that fall off of these cliffs every year. Multiple people die every year because they fall.
Because they're not paying attention.
And it is crazy. So here's a story for you real quick. So one of the last times we were there, this was probably 1.5 years, 2 years ago. There was this woman, and she was like across a gorge. So we were standing on an overlook. She was across a gorge, like on this mountain, scooting completely off the trail. And honestly, I don't even have any idea how she hiked to get over on that side, because of all of the times I've been there, I've never been in the area that she was in. she had a husband with her who was up behind her probably 30, 40 feet. And they were on a decline that was like almost straight down. She had a baby that was probably a year old on her lap.
Oh,
it
my
was
gosh.
so steep she couldn't stand up. And she's scooting down this hillside on her butt, holding on to this baby.
That's
While
probably
the
squirming
husband's
everywhere.
way up. Yeah, and the baby's crying. And she's like, you can tell she's panicking. She's like, how did I get myself into this, and how do I get myself out? There's no trail. What was she even doing off the trail? The trails are very well marked.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very clear where you can go. They're paved with stones.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a dirt trail. It's obvious. What on earth was she thinking? And if she did want to take a risk, her and her husband, like let's take a hiking risk
Well,
and
then
go
leave
off
your
the trail.
baby at home.
Why on earth would you take a baby on that trail? In the meantime, there's about 50 people gathered on the side that I'm on the
Watching.
gorge, and we have a lookout point, and we're all sitting there like, and I'm like, I'm about to see a whole family die right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
And I walked. I couldn't do it.
I would've had
We
to
left.
leave.
We had to leave. I'm like,
Well, first of all, it would have made me mad
yeah.
because she put a baby. I'd be like, you
Yeah,
idiot.
I kinda wanted
What
to
are you
strangle
doing,
her.
You more.
Yes, no kidding. And then there's this other feature. I'm getting off track, but there's
That's
this
fine.
other
Go ahead.
feature at Garden of the Gods. I think it's called the Smokestack. Some of you maybe have seen it, but it's basically a rock formation that's probably 20 feet in the air, straight up. Just looks like a smokestack, or maybe it's called the chimney. I don't
chimney.
remember. Okay, so some people like to try to climb up and sit on top of that. Okay, I don't even know how you would do it, even if you wanted to, but people managed to do it. This one guy, he climbed up and sat on top of that in the middle of winter. It was like January or February, and the whole place is covered in ice. All the rocks are covered in ice. He managed to get to the top of this thing and had to have the rescue service
Oh, yeah.
come out and get him to
Yeah.
get him down off of this thing, which meanwhile, I mean, like, even the roads down there are up and down,
Oh,
and when it
yes.
gets icy, they're dangerous. So he put all of these people
Sure, in
into
danger.
danger to come and get his butt down off of that thing.
Yeah.
What are people
See,
thinking? Why would you do that?
I don't know. I'm that type of person. When I see people being stupid, I'm just like, I really hope you fall off.
I'm kind of like, maybe natural selection should just take care of you. I'm sorry, that sounds really mean.
Yeah.
But, I mean, unless... I can't even think of an excuse for it unless they
There
truly
is no
had a mental handicap or something. But if they were truly mentally handicapped, why were they out there alone? I don't know. Don't do it, people. Don't put yourself in stupid positions when you're there.
Well, what's interesting about the entire God of the Gods is that there are 7 designated wildernesses in
Oh,
that
yeah?
280,000 acres.
280,000.
So, and like Cave and Rock is part of that designate. You know,
Okay.
they're kind of like,
Oh, okay.
they're kind of like that type of thing. But like she said, there is, I've got several other pictures too. Let's just show some pictures. How many more? Did I send 4 pictures?
Yeah, I've got 2 more.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Well,
there's
the
Camel
camel.
Rock.
I thought I had the camel.
Yep. Yeah, and that picture is probably taken from about the same rock that my kids sit on when we.
So
go to
you
have a-
basically didn't put Malia on the hump.
No, but I mean, you can get to that. That's just a lot more climbing.
I don't like heights. I can't do it. I don't like heights. But yeah, I thought I had another picture of the camel, but I couldn't remember. What's the other picture that I picked? Oh, these are just that's what Beth was talking about. That is that's a definite trail. I can't
Yes.
remember which point. I don't know which trail that would be. If that's the observation trail.
Yeah, I
think
know
it
right where
is.
that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause-
and that goes along with my story. That observation deck is where we were standing on to watch the woman and her child
you're
slide down on their butts.
kidding.
No, and there was probably 50 people gathered right
Yeah.
there, and
So-
we were all just like, "What in the world is happening?"
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many different. There's
Yeah.
just hundreds of different trails, and they're all, you can tell. I mean, they've made it where it's perfect and beautiful.
Yeah.
To do all that. I think that's the only pictures of Cave and Rock. I'm sorry, of Garden of the Gods. There is nothing like going. God bless Southern Illinois because there are so many wineries. There is nothing like taking a fall convertible drive, or if you have a Jeep or any drive, I don't care if you don't even have those things, down to the Garden of the Gods and hit wineries, antique shops, quilting shops. I mean,
There's not any quilt shops.
There's
It's a
not. I
dead
thought there
zone.
was a quilting area down there.
No, there's one in Carbondale, and then
Oh, Carbondale
and then,
don't count.
and then Paducah. You'd have to go a little
Oh,
farther
yeah.
into Paducah.
Yeah. I
But
thought
no,
there
Southern
was
Illinois
a
is a
quilting.
dead. It's a dead zone for quilt.
There's not
quilters.
a lot of you're not going to find a whole lot of gas stations. You're not going to find not a lot of antique. There's not like antique shops everywhere. But the wine trails down there, fantastic. And
I've never done that.
Are you serious?
I've
In the
never-
fall, it's. I liked it. Jim and I, I don't think Jim and I have ever done it, but I've done it with a friend of mine, and I plan on doing it more now that I don't have children at home anymore. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and then I think we're going to switch gears and talk about some Cave and Rock.
We are.
Let's talk Cave and Rock, because it's one of my favorite places. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we've been talking about Southern Illinois, and we just talked a little bit about Garden of the Gods and Camel Rock down there. Now we're going to switch gears, talk about Cave and Rock.
And you know what? You and I are taking off on a fall Saturday.
You made a decision.
I've made a decision just in that 30-second commercial break. And we are going
liking
down, and we are going to go down there, and then we're going to come back and do a show on our adventure.
Oh, yeah, we totally should. In the name of research.
In the name of research.
I like it.
Hey, we can hit a couple cemeteries on the way down.
Yeah. There are some really cool cemeteries down there. And
That's right.
They are like down in Pope County, like near Eddyville. They're like on these really steep hills. They're like built into the hill. Very cool.
It's
they
happening.
Look really old. I haven't explored them, but they look great.
I'm picking a day, and we're doing October.
Okay.
We're doing October, just saying.
Yes.
I made the decision.
Okay.
Let's talk about Cave and Rock.
Okay, so Cave and Rock is in Hardin County, Illinois. Garden of the Gods is on the line in between Saline County and Pope County. It's right there. Honestly, I think it's Saline County. But anyway, we're moving over a little bit into Hardin County. Cave and Rock is a cave that is set into the bluffs that run along the Ohio River. So many of you have probably been there. A lot of you may not know all of the history and the legends and the scary murder and mayhem that goes along with it, because there's
Cave and Rock.
There's some crazy stuff that went along.
This is all
on in
be,
that cave.
This is going to be. I mean, I had read that like the cave, like pirates, outlaws, gangsters, Jesse James, all that kind of stuff. Because this cave is. I love that cave, but caves are creepy.
Caves can be a little creepy. And I've been a lot of times when we go on vacation, if there's a cave, we'll go. And most of these caves that you tour, like when you're in Missouri or wherever you go, like they are lit. Like they've installed electricity in there.
Like the one on Route 66 over Missouri where we did that, Route 66, where Jesse James, and they advertised that. That thing's beautiful because it's lights.
Yeah.
This is not lit up.
Yeah, we went in one in Springfield, Missouri, and it was a drive-through cave. And you got into this little, a ranger, because it was just so big. And it was wide enough that you got into this little ranger thing that was pulling a wagon, and they drove you through it. It was awesome. Well lit. Okay, Cave and Rock is nothing like that, okay? So it is not well lit because it is not lit.
It's not well lit because it's not.
So if
There's nothing in there. You take your flashlight and just,
yeah, if it's a nice sunny day, like the entrance, like right when you get into the inside of it, like you can see for a while.
Is this one of your pictures?
Yeah, let's take a look at this picture here.
Yeah, look at this picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is looking in, and you can see that there is like a narrow walking path to get in it. Now you can climb up on either the left or the right and then walk in on that first ledge, but it's really rocky and it's just easier to stay on that path.
I want to be on flat ground.
Yeah, well, even that path isn't really that flat. But then you get further in there. The darker it gets. So when we were kids, like, okay, so because I went to school down there, this was a very common field trip. And we would go in there, and it was always like, how far back can you make it? Oh, I bet I can make it further back than you.
How would you know? Nobody can see.
Yeah, no, I just lie about it and be like, oh, yeah, I tapped the back wall. What are you talking about? You know, nobody can see nothing. And they would give us little flashlights, but back then it was the 80s. And those flashlights, like, you might be able to see 2 feet in front of you, maybe.
It's literally,
they weren't bright.
You're like, here, you can't, nothing.
So when you get pretty far back into that cave, there's a room off to the right that you can go in, and it has bats in it is what.
I was just getting ready to talk about the bats.
Yeah, there are bats. But okay, so back to this picture. So a couple of my favorite things about this picture, if you haven't been there in a while, you may have forgotten this part, but if you look up at the ceiling, you can see words on the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Graffiti words, but some of those go way back to like the 1700s, late 1700s, early 1800s, because there's dates. And you think, how did they reach up there? Well, the water gets really high sometimes, and this cave is underwater. So I imagine that they probably just it was flooded. They rode their boat right into there, and they were just right there at the roof and wrote what they wanted to write.
Jeez.
So
unreal.
Let's see another picture.
What other pictures do we have?
Yeah, so this is looking
beautiful.
out.
That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, so this is the Ohio River, and it is really pretty wide at Cave and Rock. There's a ferry at Cave and Rock where you can go from one side of the Ohio to the other. The widest point of the Ohio is at Paducah, Kentucky, which is not really too far from here. But the Ohio is a wild and crazy river. We used to ski on it.
I've been on the Ohio
kids.
River one time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of driftwood and a lot of...
I thought it was kind of scary. I'm not a...
Yeah, well, you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't scared because I didn't know to be scared.
Right.
But now that we own a boat and I have my own kids, I'm like, I don't really want to take our boat on the Ohio because I think it would get beat up. Plus,
it's scary. The current is rough because Jim and I took Mac and Connor down, and we visited a friend, Greg Dillard, who was... from Metropolis, and we took his boat on the Ohio River. If I was back in my younger days, I wasn't scared of nothing. I jumped on motorcycles and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But when you got little boys, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's that right there.
Yeah, my brother used to ski all up and down through there. And my friend Jesse, her dad Red, he stayed up on the skis the entire time from Cave and Rock all the way to either Elizabethtown or Golconda.
Oh my goodness!
Like miles and miles and miles, and he never fell off. It was amazing. It was a great day. But anyway,
back to Cave and Rock because we got stories.
Yes, so let's talk about stories. So
back on us.
We're going to talk about some of the legends and the pirates.
I want to talk about pirates.
Yes,
because the pirates were on the river.
They were the real thing. Yes, they started. It really began noted that this was going on around 1790. Okay, so we're going way back. Flora hadn't even been nothing. Okay. So there's not a lot of like hard facts. This is just a lot of legend here, but there were some counterfeiters named Philip Alston and John Duff, and that cave was used as their meeting place in the 1790s. And then through a relationship with Duff, there was this guy named Samuel Mason who moved his base of operations to Cave and Rock in 1797. So if you know anything about pirates, Samuel Mason is a big name in piracy in that time period. You can Google him, and he will come up, and you can learn about how bad he was. He was
bad.
Bad Leroy Brown, but his name was Samuel Mason. Okay. He had been a Revolutionary War militia captain, and then later he served as, this part kind of made me laugh, he served as an associate judge in Pennsylvania. Okay. He had his hands in a little bit of everything.
Wow, good.
But eventually he moved his family to Kentucky. And then after he arrived in Kentucky, he kind of decided maybe being a judge wasn't working out well for him, so he became a pirate. He became the leader of a gang of river pirates and highwaymen outlaws, and they wreaked havoc all around Cave and Rock and Stack Island. Now, Stack Island is a point on the Mississippi River that's like 200 miles north of New Orleans. So they had a run. Of course, they used the river between, because the Ohio flows into the Mississippi, so they connect. So he could go straight down to New Orleans along the river. So this is what he did. Him and his gang were robbing the travelers as they went down the rivers. Because back then, there weren't roads.
There weren't roads.
This was the highway. This was how people got places. They also attacked boats that were carrying merchandise and supplies. And it was common practice for men to move supplies down the river, abandon the flatboats at the end of their journey, and then return home on land along the Natchez Trace because it was safer from the Mason gang. Because if the Mason gang missed robbing them on one of the rivers, they, it was kind of odd that they even made it that far. A lot of times it was just one way or the other they were going to get you. So Cave and Rock was kind of a central point. So Samuel Mason used Cave and Rock as a central point of his base of criminal operations. And then he put a tavern inside the cave as an easy lure for travelers. Come on in and have a drink, Stacey.
Oh, my.
We have a wine trail right inside here, Stacey.
I would have went, just saying. Wine trail on there.
So they lured travelers as they passed by.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was a combination of a gambling den, a brothel,
what on earth?
and a refuge for criminals. And so it was the perfect trap. So this dirty old cave, I feel like it's hard to walk in, and sometimes, like at least once a year, it kind of floods, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
But this is where they had their, first of all, I feel really bad for any women who are forced to work in that brothel.
Well,
because it's pitch dark and filthy dirty and full of bats.
And any other brothel's okay, but that particular...
No, I don't have it. I'm not good with any brothels, but that one seems like torture. Like, what is happening? Oh my gosh.
Oh, dirt floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That I just wasn't expecting.
Life was hard back then, man.
It was.
All right.
Hard for a working girl.
Yeah. All right. So now let's move on from Samuel Mason. Yeah, I'm done talking about brothels.
Give me another story.
Okay.
And then we'll take a commercial break.
Okay. So some people believe that the first serial killers were
Get out
at Cave and Rock.
No way.
Yeah. Their names were Micaiah and Wiley Harp. They are known as Big and Little Harp. And
I gotta write that down
because I think we could do a whole show on them.
I'm gonna do a show
I kind of delved into them a little bit, and there's just so much on them that I'm just going to do an overview.
How have I ever?
I have heard of them because of my field trips
well,
that I took when I was a
true.
kid. Okay,
Harpe.
Harp is spelled Harpe. It has a silent E on the end. Big and Little Harp. The Harp brothers, and they actually may have just been cousins and not brothers. That's not confirmed. They spread killing and despair wherever they went. What? They operated primarily in Kentucky and Tennessee, but there are accounts of their activities on the Illinois side of the Ohio River, which would be Cave and Rock.
I wrote it down. We're doing a show now.
Yeah. So we got time for me to go in it a little bit more?
Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and I'm very intrigued.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me order lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We're talking about Cave in Rock, the cave in Hardin County, Illinois.
There is something that I did find out about Cave in Rock was that actually it was the very first, the first state park in Illinois. Cave in Rock was.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, brothels and the first state park.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I'm talking about the Hart brothers, and they were pretty terrible guys. People think they came around 1799. They're associated with two separate stories at the cave and one at the infamous Pot Springs area, which I'm really not familiar about. But the first story has them pushing a young couple off the top of the cliff above the cave, and then they survived. And the second was an act of piracy in which only one man survived, and later he was forced off the cliff as well, this time involving the man being tied down to a horse. So neither he survived nor the horse.
Oh, my goodness.
And then at Potts Spring, it's recalled as a murder of 2 or 3 hunters. The Hart murder site is within 20 years, is where the future location of the legendary Potts Inn is. So that's something else we could investigate down there, which was presumed to be a human death trap for unsuspecting travelers along the
Potts Inn?
Ford's Ferry High Water Road. It was an early frontier highway. And it was basically they built a fake hotel there to lure people in to sleep for the night, and then they killed them.
Oh, it's almost like the original serial killer in. Yeah, and they think it was actually Jack the Ripper. What's his H.H. Holmes?
Okay.
Do you know anything about that? Yeah. We'll talk about that at lunch.
Okay. So eventually, these bandits, Mason and the Hart brothers, were all captured. And they all lost their heads.
Oh, so they were.
But get this. Okay. So they were captured, killed, and beheaded.
Wow.
Their heads and skulls were left in strategic places in plain view to deter any future outlaws. So they put and you can find pictures, not real photos, but like sketches of this if you wanted to. I didn't mean to find them, but I did. Online, but then they put their head on a stake, and then they staked their heads all around different places around the cave to tell people
we're not messing around.
We're not messing around. Yeah. We're done with the bad activities.
Yeah.
So if you want to do this, you're gonna get beheaded. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, guess what happened?
What happened?
It didn't work. More bad guys came.
Bad guys came. Bad guys bad.
So then more gangs just took over. In the early 1800s, it was called the Sturtevant Gang and the Ford's Ferry Gang, and they somehow ended up here from Connecticut, and then they were based in St. Clair County, Illinois, but also occupied part of Pope County and Hardin County. Yeah, so then they were gangs, and they were not carjackers, but basically boat jackers. For flatboats. So anybody coming down the river, it was just like piracy. Mm-hmm. Like, give us everything you have, or we'll kill you, or make you walk off the.
It's like that one episode of Outlander when they're in the States, and then that bad guy comes and robs them.
A lot of this made me think of Outlander, which is also in the same time period, but in North Carolina.
1700s. Yeah. Before the Revolutionary War. Isn't that insane?
Mm-hmm. So also the Sturtevant Gang, they were counterfeiters too. Yeah.
It makes you wonder how they hear about all this.
I don't know. How do you know there's a cave there?
How do you know there's a
You're
cave
from
there?
Connecticut. How do you know,
how do you
find out? I don't know.
I guess they just took off and stopped where they. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So this new gang, the Sturtevant gang, the law enforcement officials led 3 raids against Sturtevant Fort in 1822 and 1823. And it's not clear what happened following the raids, but the gang disappeared from the area by 1830. The Ford's Ferry gang was broken up following the mysterious deaths or murders of James Ford's two sons, followed by his assassination in 1833. Well, I wonder, this is speculation, I haven't done any research into this. This is all at the same time as the other gang around here, that we talked about.
The Sheltons?
The Sheltons.
The Shelton gang?
Yes.
They had to have connected.
Yes. Well, wait. This is maybe earlier.
Well, Shelton's
this is 1830. Yeah, the Sheltons were more like 1930. I was 100 years off.
100 years off.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Because then I thought, well, maybe they ran them off. But it does sound like even back then there was all these competing gangs.
Yeah, gangs have been around for, since the beginning of time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that?
Yeah. So back to that Potts Inn. Isaiah Potts. Travelers checked in but sometimes failed to check out. It was similar to the Bloody Bender's Wayside Inn, which occurred. Yes, this is the one I had heard of. The Bloody Bender's Wayside Inn. This was only a few miles away from Laura Ingalls Wilder. See, I can pull it in anytime I want to.
Anytime you want.
This happened 50 years later than this, but in Labette County, Kansas. So you know that Laura Ingalls and her family traveled to Kansas.
Right.
For a while, they lived there in Indian Territory for just a short time. But research shows that the path that they would have taken to get to their homestead would have been right by this Bloody Bender's. It was a family, their last name was Bender. Okay. And they would have went right by there. So whether or not, I guess they just didn't need to stay there or whatever, but people are speculating that Laura Ingalls and her family went right through a serial killer's lair, like trap, and made it out and weren't trapped. But there is another story where they might have stopped there for water.
Huh.
But anyway, basically the Benders did the same thing. They said they were a hotel or a nice place to stay while you're on this trail, and they lured people in and then they killed them.
And they killed them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay. So then we're going to talk a little bit about Anna Bixby. You remember her from last week?
Yep, I remember Anna Bixby.
The nurse that found the cure for the milk sickness?
Yep.
Okay. Well, E146 Bixby was a counterfeiter in Hardin County following the Sturtevants. So the Sturtevants are gone. The E146 Bixby takes over as the counterfeiter. His attack on his wife Anna in an effort to find out where her first husband's money was buried dates to the early 1860s and led to the legends of Anna Bixby, her treasure and her ghost. She survived running off of a cliff in the dark.
Jeez.
She is the namesake of the Anna Bixby Women's Center in nearby Harrisburg, Illinois. So she was a good gal and did a lot of good things, but I bet she did not know that second husband of hers was a counterfeiter.
Probably
until
not.
she married him.
Well, the whole reason.
But anyway, I didn't know the part about he ran her off of the cliff in the dark, and then she survived.
She did survive it.
But it is Cave and Rock is where it is suspected that her treasure is buried.
Anna Bixby's.
Yes, Anna Bixby's treasure, which has never been found.
Which
it's probably in the back room there with the bats.
I was gonna say, how far are you gonna go back in that cave?
Yeah, I'm not going in it. Okay, let's look at this next picture because it's a pretty cool one. I don't know who to give credit for this photo. I found it online. It's obviously not mine. But that is the Milky Way lined up perfectly with the cave at Cave and Rock. So that's a pretty spectacular opportunity. Cool. Somebody probably waited for exactly the right moment to take that picture. So kudos to them because it's pretty awesome. But again, you can see that walking path in there is very narrow.
Oh, it's really,
yeah. He's standing up on that higher ledge, but it's still not a great place for a bar or a brothel.
No, you have to go back. I've sent it a couple, but how many more pictures of cave?
I don't know. Do I have another? Yeah, this is just the outside.
That the last one?
Yeah, okay. And this is just another view of the outside. And you can see the cliff above the cave. That's where the horse and the rider would have been pushed off into the river. But yeah, a lot of folklore.
That's a really neat. Yeah, that's a really neat picture.
Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff happened down there.
I know, but it makes the perfect place to do that. Not to mention, of course, I know, isn't Southern Illinois in that area, in the Shawnee area, and Cave Rock rattlesnakes too?
Yes, there's
we
rattlesnakes.
have rattlesnakes down there.
Yes.
I never did come across anything like that, but it's been years since I've even been down there.
There's a lot of them at Cave and Rock, or not Cave and Rock, probably at Cave and Rock, but at Garden of the Gods, because like the day I follow a website, a Facebook page that's down there, and like the day before we went the last time, someone took a picture and there was like probably 6 or 7 snakes in the same picture, all curled up on one of the main rocks at Garden of the Gods. They were all like in a wad together. It was creepy.
Yeah, that's gross.
And so then I was nervous the whole day, the next day, that we were going to step on a rattlesnake.
Oh, I would be a nervous wreck too. I don't like snakes. I found it interesting thing like down there at Cave and Rock, the actual cave in the Disney Field, Davy Crockett. Some of the location was filmed. Some of the movie was filmed there.
Oh, cool!
And also How the West Was Won. And some of that was filmed there at Cave and Rock too.
Cool.
And using the cave, that was pretty neat thing to find out. The movie sets got me because it's surprising not more happens down there. But those are kind of 2 films everybody would know about.
There is somewhere in my research, it talks about Disney World, and if you are at Magic Kingdom in Disney World, and you go to the Tom Sawyer Island that's out there in the middle and explore that area. Let's see. There's a scene at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. There's a scene called Cutthroat Corner and Wilson's Cave-In that can be seen on the banks of the rivers of America while riding the Liberty Bell riverboat. So they have a big riverboat that you can kind of take around Disney World, and it goes around Tom Sawyer's Island, and you can see that scene, Cutthroat Corner and Wilson's Cave-In, and it's based on the real-life Cave and Rock and the activity of river pirates during that time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At Disney. So, yeah, I mean, it's not only, like I said, it's just kind of neat that Cave and Rock has been in movies and Disney. That's cool. Yeah.
If you've seen the movie How the West Was Won, there was a scene filmed. You got that too? Did you say that?
How the West Was Won was filmed. Yeah, there was a scene there that was filmed at Cave and Rock and the Davy Crockett movie. Did you come across any other ones that might have been filmed down there? That's the only 2 I came across. That's all I found.
Nope, I think that's the only movies. But anyway,
with
pretty
fall
interesting.
Well, with fall approaching,
yes,
fall is approaching. I'd say people need to just get in their vehicle and take it. Once those leaves start changing, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful.
It
down
is
there.
beautiful. That's
great places to camp, hike, ride horses.
Oh, lots of campgrounds. Yeah, Jim and I, we were not that far down, but I like Golconda, like that river to river ends in Golconda. And, I mean, it's just a beautiful area and lots of campgrounds, lots of wineries, some antiquing, and just some good old fashioned little diners, and it's just a good time.
A
Everybody
lovely
should go.
area. There's beautiful Airbnbs along the river.
Yeah, just go. It's beautiful.
Go explore.
Yep. Okay, so Jack Handy.
Yes, Deep Thoughts.
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
How are we ending the show today? What deep thought do you have for us?
Well, it kind of goes with what we're talking about, because we're talking about the edge of a roof.
Okay.
I remember we were all horrified to see Grandpa up on the roof with his Superman cape on. "Get down!" yelled Uncle Lou. "Don't move!" screamed Grandma. But Grandpa wouldn't listen. He walked to the edge of the roof, stuck out his arms like he was going to fly. I forget what happened after that.
Okay.
Okay, Jack Handy.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us.
We don't know what happened to Grandpa.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun show, and we will catch you next time.
All right. God bless you, and have a great day.